Welcome back to Dinar Current, your go-to source for uncovering the untold stories shaping global currencies. Today, we're spotlighting an extraordinary event that's sending shockwaves through the foreign exchange (FX) world, an incident so rare and calculated that it has left even seasoned financial veterans in disbelief. If you've been tracking the movements of the Vietnamese dong (VND), what just unfolded may be the most consequential development yet. This wasn't a market crash, nor was it a spontaneous devaluation. It was what insiders are now calling a strategic detonation, a premeditated disruption designed to shake the very framework of the Forex ecosystem. While major news outlets are barely acknowledging it, behind the scenes, analysts and institutional players are calling this a defining moment, one that may mark the start of a radical shift in the global economy. At approximately 2 a.m. GMT, something highly unusual occurred across global trading systems. Multiple FX platforms abruptly froze. Initially dismissed as a routine technical glitch, further scrutiny revealed something far more deliberate. The one common thread, the Vietnamese dong. Within moments, leading brokerages halted all trades involving the VND-USD pair, issuing vague alerts about liquidity anomalies. But what truly unfolded was far beyond any typical market hiccup. Internal systems at major banks activated emergency protocols typically reserved for events of global financial instability. Some institutions were locked out of their own FX infrastructure. Trade books became flooded with erratic volumes, and trading desks worldwide scrambled for answers. It quickly became clear, this wasn't just a fluke. The Vietnamese dong had surged with such intensity that algorithms failed, models collapsed, and the system cracked. Trading hubs in New York, Frankfurt, and Singapore reported chaos, wild price swings, unprecedented trade volumes, and a flood of internal warnings. Confidential memos began circulating, explicitly prohibiting employees from discussing the VND in any capacity, internally or externally. According to emerging insider consensus, this was no accident. Instead, it was likely a coordinated move, possibly involving powerful institutional entities or sovereign-level actors. These weren't retail investors. This was capital on a massive scale, strategically placed to test, and ultimately overwhelm, the global currency system's limits. And strangely, the panic wasn't disorderly. It had structure. It felt rehearsed, as if certain market players were following a script they'd seen before. To truly grasp the significance of this event, we need to step back and consider Vietnam's long-term economic trajectory. For years, Vietnam has steadily and quietly evolved into a Southeast Asian economic powerhouse. Inflation has remained under control, foreign reserves have increased, and direct foreign investment has poured in as corporations shift manufacturing away from China. Yet, despite these strong fundamentals, the dong has been kept undervalued to boost exports, a common tactic under Vietnam's managed float system. But for some time now, economists have suspected a major correction was looming. The dong's true value has long diverged from its market price, and many believe that a revaluation was only a matter of time. What we may have just witnessed is the beginning of a carefully orchestrated plan, years in the making, to rebalance the currency in line with Vietnam's real economic strength. Leaked documents from a closed-door Ministry of Finance session in Hanoi hint at a multi-phase strategy for revaluation. This includes internal financial reform, international coordination, secret talks with trade partners, hidden gold reserve adjustments, and preliminary alignment with major clearinghouses. Perhaps most significant is Vietnam's quiet engagement with BRICS nations, those actively working to shift the world away from dollar dominance. If true, this positions Vietnam's move as part of a much broader financial transformation effort. Experts are now asking a pressing question. Was this a systems error or a tactical display of monetary intent? Increasingly, the answer points toward deliberate action. Some speculate that select insiders were tipped off in advance, allowing them to act before the rest of the world caught on. When the trades hit critical mass, the system buckled, and was purposefully reset. This may have been a controlled experiment, a strategic, soft launch, to test how global FX networks would respond to a sudden valuation shock. The aftermath speaks volumes. Broken platforms, mysterious rate fluctuations, and digital FX tools displaying bizarre VND prices, some showing 1,200 or even 50 dong to the dollar. Vietnamese banks saw system slowdowns, long queues, and even temporary suspension of foreign currency exchanges. Heightened activity around the central bank, including unmarked government vehicles and increased security, suggests internal operations are already at a critical stage. All of this points to one conclusion: Vietnam may be rolling out a revaluation, not all at once but in carefully timed phases. The first stage appears focused on institutional players and infrastructure testing. Only once stability is assured would the public phase begin, with a new exchange rate likely to cause one of the most dramatic currency resets in modern history. Such a change would impact everything from sovereign debt balances to international trade flows, shaking up global finance. Vietnam's economy would see a massive boost in purchasing power, while neighbors like Thailand and Malaysia would feel pressure to reassess their own strategies. And perhaps most intriguingly, this could serve as a proof of concept for the global currency reset (GCR), an idea long dismissed by mainstream economists. The GCR envisions a financial system where undervalued currencies are restored to reflect true economic output, challenging the dollar-centric order of today. If the VND revaluation is indeed the first move in this transformation, the implications are profound. What was once considered speculative is now moving toward reality. Investors holding Vietnamese dong may be standing at the threshold of a historic turning point. If you're among them, now is the time to take action. Secure your holdings. Ensure proper documentation and proof of purchase. Speak with financial professionals who understand global currency law and risk. Be aware of potential compliance hurdles and short redemption windows. Reports are already surfacing of suspended dong trades and private exchange offers under NDAs. These could be early signs of a coming rate update, or a shift to institutional-only access. Timing is critical. Those who act early could benefit most. When financial institutions go silent and platforms freeze, it's rarely without reason. The Vietnamese dong may have just delivered the first real tremor in a long-anticipated global monetary shift. Watch Vietnam. Watch BRICS. Watch for gold disclosures and sudden export anomalies. This moment may not just be news, it could be the opening chapter of a financial revolution. You've been reading Dinar Current. If you value these insights, don't keep them to yourself. Share this with anyone holding dong or watching the market. And above all, stay alert. History doesn't announce itself. It moves quietly, then all at once.